Hello everybody and welcome to another week of Maker's Monday. I am Anastasia Radloff, aka Stampin' Blondie, and I'm excited to be here with you as I debut some brand new products coming to the May to August mini catalog, which debuts tomorrow. I'm so excited to share these new products with you and help you get inspired for the new crafting season for this new mini catalog. I hope you all had an amazing weekend. Let me just make sure that I'm live here on Facebook. I'm also live over on YouTube as well. So if you're watching, make sure to comment, say hi, let me know where you're watching from. It's always fun for me to see where everybody is joining me live each week. So let's go here. Am I live on YouTube? No, it looks like YouTube's maybe giving me some issues. Let's refresh there. I'll refresh here on Facebook as well. All right, looks like I'm good on Facebook. Let's see. Let's refresh it a bit. I may just have to upload it live to YouTube later. That's okay. So, like I said, I hope you all had an amazing weekend. It was really chilly here in Korea this weekend. Hi, Mom. Looks like it was 81 in Iowa today. Hello, Nancy. I hope you are having a great day. Yeah, it got chilly here over the weekend. It rained. So we didn't really do too much. We went to a new restaurant off base, and it was kind of like a charcuterie restaurant. So we did that, and then we went to a cafe after on Saturday night and just had a really nice dinner and then really good desserts. This cafe that we went to, it's my favorite. They have amazing like coffee style drinks and cocktails, but then so delicious desserts that just are beautiful. So had a great time. Sunday just kind of bummed around, and then we went over to a friend's house and played board games. So it was a lot of fun. Just a relaxing weekend after our previous weekend that we had traveled, and then we have some travels coming up here soon. So just a nice weekend to spend hanging around and not doing much. Now, like I said, today I'm going to be featuring 3 projects featuring the brand new Relaxing Waterside bundle. This bundle debuts tomorrow in the May through August mini catalog and actually coordinates with the April paper pumpkin kit. So if you received April's kit, then you can coordinate that those projects with these that I'm using today and create even more projects with your supplies. Now I have a couple things to go over before we jump into our 3 projects today, so let's go ahead and swap the camera and we will get started. There we go. So, like I said, the new catalog debuts tomorrow, and with that, Stampin' Up! Is also releasing a brand new join offer. So if you have been interested in becoming a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, this join offer is the perfect time, because with it you receive, let me get my flyer out here, the brand new 2026-2028 in color ink pads, and those are Peaceful Pine, Hydrangea Hue, Golden Glow, Barely Blush, and Crisp Cantaloupe. Now you receive all 5 of these ink pads with your starter kit for free. And in that starter kit, you get to choose $125 worth of products for $99 with free shipping. There's no requirement to hold classes, sell products, or do Facebook Live. So you can be what I like to deem as a happy shopper and get your discount for yourself. So there's no requirement to teach classes. Now in this starter kit, like I said, you get all 5 of these new ink pads. Now if ink pads aren't your thing, you can choose an additional $35 worth of product to your choice instead, still for that $99. So you get either or, the new ink pads or an additional $35 worth of product. Now with this, the new ink pads, they are magnetic and they are much easier to open. They just pull right apart. They are Like I said, magnetic, very easy. They stack together, they link together. They're very great for storing. They are now going back to felt ink pads. Before, we currently have foam ink pads, and some of those were giving Stampin' Up! And demonstrators, customers, issues with stamping. So we are now going back to felt ink pads, and it is a firm felt stamping pad, so it's much easier to ink up. Now, these ink pads are much easier for those with maybe arthritis or any kind of hand issues to be able to open. Like they just said, they pull apart and then they do kind of snap together for having the lid open. So those are the new starter kit options. So that starts May 5th, tomorrow. And you can get that through the end of May. So all 5 ink pads for free, or you can choose $35 worth of extra products, all for $99 plus additional shipping. Now with that, you get all of my tutorials that I do for my team are on my website, so you get to choose all my tutorials for free, and then just stamping fun with all your new products. So if you have questions about becoming a demonstrator or what is entitled to that, you're more than welcome to send me a message. I'm happy to answer any questions. I've been a demonstrator for 15 and a half years, so I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you may have. So new starter kit promotion starts tomorrow as well. Also debuting tomorrow are the May online exclusive items. So there are over 20 new items that are specifically hosted on the Stampin' Up! Website. You won't find them in our mini catalog, so you can check that out as well. We also have our product of the month debuting, which is specialty vellum paper, 12 by 12 vellum paper. The product of the month is for every $75 you purchase. You get to choose that product of the month for $5 for your order, and it's called the Berry Botanical specialty printed vellum. We also have 2 new kits that will debut tomorrow, so lots of things debuting on the Stampin' Up! Website tomorrow. We have the new catalog, the starter kit promotion, the online exclusives, the 2 new kits, and our new ink colors debut tomorrow as well. So very, very exciting. Now, speaking of the new catalog, this is what it looks like. I can't show you the inside until tomorrow, but it is, I can tell you how many pages it is, 87 pages. And with this new catalog, Stampin' Up! Is discontinuing the annual catalog, and we will go to 3 mini catalogs per year. So this is the May to August mini catalog. In here you have brand new stamp sets, bundles, designer series paper, as well as our new in-color items and coordinating products to go along with that, plus what I'm using today for our Makers Monday projects. Now, speaking of that, I'll be using the Relaxing Waterside stamp set and the coordinating dies for our projects today. Now, if you like this stamp set, last week I showed I am now part of a tutorial bundle, and this month we featured the Relaxing Waterside bundle, and this is actually available on my website right now. If you click at the top, it says PDF tutorials. You can purchase the PDF tutorial, or with any $50 order, I send this to you for free. So it is 8 projects featuring this new bundle, and all of these projects have a video tutorial to go along with it. Of course, your measurements, your dimensions, supplies, everything are included for these projects, so you can see what you need. But there's also videos along this one. So PDF tutorial on my website, available now from the Papercraft Collective. All right, so let's get started into our projects. We do need the Peaceful Pine ink pad for today. Now, Relaxing Waterside is a suite. So it has stamps, dies, designer series paper, and embellishments to coordinate with it. It is a set of 13 photopolymer stamps and 13 dies to go along with that. This can be purchased as a bundle or standalone items. With the bundle, you get a discount on purchasing that. And then yesterday on my website, Facebook, Instagram, all the things, I shared this really fun home decor project. Now this features a 5x7 frame and a piece of pecan pie cardstock in the background. Now this is from the designer series paper. And what I did is I stamped the seagulls on there. I added my sentiment. I added the chair and the little cup, and I stamped an extra little bit of these cattails here. Now, this is a really fun gift to give to somebody that may be retiring, has a birthday coming up. Father's Day is also coming up here in the States in June. So this is a really easy project to gift to somebody. Like I said, just a 5x7 frame with a couple of stamps and the designer series paper in the background, and it really just kind of makes the project pop. I did take the glass out of this just because this little chair and the sentiment piece are popped up, but you could add the glass back in if you wanted to, just to kind of protect the paper. But I always take it out when I show it on video because the lights reflect off the glass and then it's kind of hard to see. So you can always do that. And dollar store frames, 5x7, very easy project to put together. Now today we're going to be creating 3 more projects featuring this Relaxing Waterside suite. This one here, we have a great masculine, let's get that in frame there, a great masculine birthday card featuring the designer series paper, some fun embossing to go along with that. We have this one where I'm going to show you, let's get that in there, the Adirondack chair. It is die cut and it embosses it at the same time when you run it through the machine. So we're going to do that too. And then this is kind of a really fun fold there. And then this one is very simple using our designer series paper, those pre-printed design cards. And this is great because not only are we featuring like masculine theme projects, but the Relaxing Waterside can be used for non-masculine projects as well. So I wanted to show that you could just tie in some brighter colors and it just doesn't have to be a masculine themed suite to go along with it. So we have those 3 projects today. So let's get started. We're going to work on this one here first, our blue one. So we have a piece of Misty Moonlight cardstock, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Let me get my paper trimmer out here. And we are going to trim the edge of this off. We are going to cut, I think it's 1 1/4. Let me just make sure. Yep, 1 1/4. We're going to cut off of this card. So, just going to use our paper trimmer and trim that right off. So now when we fold our card, we have that little kind of peekaboo background area there. We can put our trimmer away here. And we're going to use our bone folder to crisp up our line and our fold there. And we have a piece of basic white cardstock. This is 1 by 5.5. And we're just going to glue that right to the inside of the card. So when you fold it, you have that white showing right there. So with our liquid glue, we're going to add that right to the inside of our card here. Kathy says she loves this suite. I love it too. I don't really have a lot of masculine themed kind of supplies, so I was very happy to grab this one. Demonstrators that attended On Stage, which is a demonstrator only event hosted by Stampin' Up, we were able to pre-order, and this was one of the items that I pre-ordered during that. All right. We also have a piece of the designer series paper. I chose this kind of plaid look. Here's the back side of it. It has sequins on it. And this is 3.5 by 4.5. And we're just going to glue that down. Now, you don't want to add glue to the entire thing because if you do, you're going to glue your card shut. So just about half some glue there. And that'll go right there. So that when you open the card, you have that area there as well. Now we have a piece of vellum cardstock. This is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, and we're gonna put our project off to the side and work on our vellum. And I also pre-die cut from the Nested Essentials dies with a piece of basic white. You can see it has that fun little kind of stitching around it. And we're just gonna quick stamp our sentiment on there. And I'm choosing the sentiment that says relax and peaceful pine with our new in color ink pad here. I'm so excited for these. Now next year, Stampin' Up! Is going to release all of the ink pads in magnetic. So just this year is only going to be the in colors. Next year will be all the ink pads will be in the magnetic. So very excited for those. So we have our sentiment. We're just gonna put that off to the side. And we're gonna die cut a piece of pecan pie cardstock with the dies here. So here's what the dies look like. Now, when you open it up, you'll see there's a couple of different ways to do the Adirondack chair. You can do the die, which cuts out the stamp, of course, which I used on that framed art. And then you have different backs for the chairs. So I'm gonna use this one here, and we've got this little chair piece there as well. So let's put that to the side, and we're gonna die cut this. And we don't need this full piece, so we're just gonna trim it down a little bit. And these do fit in the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, so that's what we're gonna be using today. So we'll get the mini machine out and our plates. And we're gonna put our pecan pie down, our chair base, and then our chair background. And we're gonna run that through all at the same time. Crunching and cracking noises are normal. It's just cutting through your paper. It's a good arm workout. Okay, now we've got a couple of little pieces here that I want to show you. So with this background piece, you have to be very careful with it. Let's get our plates out of the way. Because when it die cuts, you can see in between the little slats are the little pieces of cardstock that are in there. So you just have to take your scissors and just kind of trim. Let's get it off the thing first, the paper. Let's get my scissors. So I'm just gonna trim it off of the pre-cut piece. So we've got that out of the way. So we need to get rid of, in between the slats, there's these little pieces. So I'm just gonna take my scissors here. Hello, Chris from Missouri. Got a lot of Midwest people here tonight. We got Iowa, Missouri. Hopefully it's warm there for you guys too. My mom said it was warm in Iowa. All right, now you just have to be careful with this because you don't want to cut your little slats here. And once you get them cut, they just tend to fall away pretty easy. So just cutting down the edges. There we go. Get that out of the way. These little dies, you just kind of have to, especially the ones that like die cut and emboss at the same time, like these little pieces that have the little slats. Oh, I ripped it a little bit. That's okay. There we go. It'll still work. Like I said, you just got to be really careful with this. It's kind of hard to do on live because you don't want to sit there and take up everybody's time cutting all these little teeny tiny pieces. There we go. And get rid of that. So once you get rid of those little slats, like I said, I accidentally ripped that one too much, but it'll be okay once we glue it down. If I hold it like this, you can see it gets rid of all those little pieces in between. Now with the bottom of the chair, let's get all this out of the way here. With the bottom of the chair, you have a couple pieces that you want to save. So you have obviously the chair, but then there's this little piece kind of stuck in there. You want to use that as well. And that is the piece that goes along the bottom of the chair right there. So without it, you can see, without it, it's just kind of plain. And then you add that little embossed piece and it gives it a little bit more texture. So we're gonna glue that on first. And just a thin amount of liquid glue is all you need for that. And that will just go right there. Now your backing here has this little tab, and that's where you add your glue, and you'll tuck it behind. You'll tuck it in and behind that little piece right in there. So then it'll all hold your chair together. Now what I did is I added little drops of glue to the top of the chair here to hold the slats down. So we're just gonna add little bits of glue onto the backing of the chair and it'll hold all these little slats down. I'm gonna add a clear block on top of this just to hold everything down here. So let's push it all down, hold it into place, and we'll clear block it and let it kind of sit there for a minute to glue all together. So the fine tip glue pen is actually a really good option for this as well. I will say I am not a huge fan of the fine tip glue pen. I like my multi-purpose liquid glue the best, but that fine tip will work really well there too. Hello, Shar in Wisconsin. Like I said, we got a lot of Midwest, Missouri, Iowa, Wisconsin here today. All right, now that we have our little chair done, we've got to work on the oar. So the designer series paper has, let me find the paper that we need, this pre-printed piece, and it has life jackets and oars on it. And we're gonna use this on 2 of our projects here tonight. So I am just going to cut, let's see, we'll cut this one right here. So the oar is gonna look a little different from my sample piece, but that's okay. It's still got the same idea, it's just a different pattern. So we're gonna cut this out. There unfortunately are not dies to go along with this oar piece here, but we are still going to cut it out. It's really easy to cut out because it is all rounded edges, so very simple to do. And there's the crisscross oars, there's this regular oar. So the next one, we're gonna cut the crisscross ones and a life jacket out, but this one is just a single oar. It's very lake decor, which I like. And rounded cuts, like I said, really easy to fussy cut out. There we go. So we've got our put together Adirondack chair. You can see a little bit of glue has peeked through. That's okay. Multi-purpose liquid glue dries clear, so you don't have to worry about that. And we're gonna glue this down to our vellum piece first. And you just wanna add kind of a little bit of glue. You don't want too much. Just in the kind of key places that you want it to stick down. And then that'll go here. We're still gonna add a clear block to that just to hold it in place while it dries a little bit. We have our, where did our sentiment piece go? Just had it. Did it get caught up in my designer series paper? Did it get under my vellum? All right, well, we lost our sentiment piece, which is gonna go right there. It was, where did it go? It's probably like right in front of my face. I just don't see it. Do you guys see the sentiment piece anywhere? All right, well, we're just gonna have to move on without it until it magically appears somewhere. I don't know where it went. Is it stuck to the back of my designer series paper? Nope. All right, we'll move on. So we have our or here, and then once we find that sentiment piece, we'll just add it on there. So the or is going to get glued on top of our little chair. I'm just gonna put that at an angle there. Again, clear block to kind of hold it in place. Now, if you've never worked with vellum, you want to make sure to, check the floor. Let's see, let's check the floor. Nope, I don't see it. It just magically disappeared in that like 10 seconds that I was, you know what, die cutting. There it is, I found it. It was under my die cut machine, stuck to the bottom of my die cut machine. There we go. So with vellum, you want to work your way top down. So you add your pieces on top of the vellum, you glue everything down, then you flip it over, and that's when you add your glue to the back. Yep, Carol, maybe stuck to your cut and emboss machine. That's exactly where it was. You know, it just kind of has a mind of its own, that emboss machine. So just little strips of glue. With vellum, you have to be very careful where you place the glue or it'll show through. So right there. And again, kind of a clear block to hold everything down as it glues. Now I'm going to be using the metallic gems for the embellishment here. The metallic gems, they come in 3 different colors: rose gold, gold, and silver, and then 2 different sizes, large and small. So on this one, we're going to use 2 of the rose gold, 1 large and 1 small. And that is our first project, featuring the Relaxing Waterside bundle. And then you have this little peekaboo here, and it's great because this is also a good gift card holder. So you could use mini glue dots and put a gift card here, and then when you open it, you can see the gift card, and then you can put some writing here on this side as well. So a great card. I like this one because, again, relax, birthday, retirement card. We don't have a lot of retirement sentiments and everything in here. So relax is a good one. Father's Day is coming up, like I mentioned. So that is our first project for today. So I hope you guys like that one. All right, our next one we're gonna work on is this one, Have a Great Day. This one uses a piece of basic white cardstock, and we're gonna make an easel card. So 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. And again, our bone folder here to crisp up our line. And this is a piece of designer series paper from the coordinating designer series paper. Here's the back side. I was really trying to determine like which side to use for this, because really you could do both ways. And actually, let's make my card using the other side of the designer series paper so you can see both of the varieties here and how great both sides of the paper are. So we're gonna add glue to this side here. Now this is gonna cover the full front of our card base. So right there, liquid glue is great because you can make sure it's all lined up to the front here. Like I said, I had a really hard time choosing which side of this paper to use because both sides are just great. This is a piece of crumb cake cardstock die cut with the Spotlight on Nature's dies. Pre-die cut already, easy for you. And then this is our new Peaceful Pine cardstock, one of the new in colors debuting tomorrow. And then this is cut with the plaid embossing folder. So again, with this embossing folder, you can use both sides. So here's the side where the lines go in, and then you can flip it over, or you have the lines going out. So I used it where the lines are going in, but this embossing folder, you can use either side to get a different kind of texture here. And then this is just gonna go on the left side of our card here. All right, before we put down our circle, we're gonna stamp it. We've got pecan pie for our ink and our sentiment that says, have a great birthday. There we go. We all need some good masculine cards in our birthday stash. So right there. And then we are going to fussy cut from that designer series paper, the last one that we just used with the oars and the life jackets. We're gonna cut 2 oars and then a life jacket. So we'll do these 2 oars and this green life jacket here. So that's the good part about this paper, is that because it's all different colors, you can change up your design. You can choose different cardstock colors based on whatever pattern of this you're gonna cut out. Again, no dies to go along with these little life jackets and oars, but all rounded edges, so quite easy to cut out. All right, let's do the life jacket first. So, there. And I loved this when I first saw it, because when I envision my like retirement house, I envision like a little kind of cabin looking design, and so I really liked this one. But I want to move back to Tucson, and Tucson's not really known for its lakeside cabin decor. So maybe I'll have a lakeside themed house in the desert. You never know. Make like a little man-made lake on my property or something. But we're just gonna cut these guys out. Now I do have a scan and cut machine which like scans these images and cuts them out, but I've found out when using that, it takes a lot longer to set the thing up, scan it, make sure it's all how you want to use it, and then for it to cut. And by the time it's all set up, it's just easier to hand cut it out sometimes. Now it's great if you're wanting to do like a bunch of these and cut all of them out at once. Perfect. But by the time, like I said, I got it all scanned and exactly where I want it to cut, it's just easier to fussy cut these out by hand. So sometimes technology is great. Sometimes it's just better to do it yourself. All right, we've got our oars almost cut out here. And you just got to be careful you don't cut the oars, the handles off. It can get a little tricky at the end. There we go. So we've got our life jacket and our oars. And we can glue these all down. So we're going to start with the oars first. Just a little bit of glue here. Glue here. There we go. I almost put that in the garbage can. And then that. And then our life jacket we're going to add on with Stampin' Dimensionals. So that gives it a little bit of popped up. And that's going to go right there. We're going to add dimensionals again to the back of that. Pop this up even more. And it'll go right there on our card. So not quite in the middle, not all the way down at the bottom, just right, kind of the lower third. We're going to use the metallic gems again, and this time we're going to use a large silver and a small silver. And there is our second project today, featuring the Relaxing Waterside bundle. A great one to have a birthday card on hand. I think I almost like this pattern paper better than the wood pattern, because it ties in the life jacket with the oars. It's really a big toss-up with which one I like more. I think I like this one with the life preservers in the back. So hope you guys like that one as well. All right, and our last one here today, like I mentioned, this isn't just for masculine projects. So the designer series paper has, let's grab it here, has these pre-printed background pieces. So here's the full page so you can see what it looks like. This is the piece that I used for that home decor piece. So it's just one big background, and then I just added little stamps to make it come to life a little bit more. Carol asked, do you think you'll go back to Arizona when you're done there? So when we leave Korea, my husband still has time in the military, so we won't be going back to Arizona right away, but I think that's where we are going to retire to. I loved Tucson. I loved Arizona. I had a lot of friends there that were crafty friends, so it really made it feel like home. And we were there 8 years. That was a long time. So we are gonna use this little piece here, this little like ice cream shop. Now, before we lived in Korea, we lived in Newport, Rhode Island. And if you aren't familiar with Newport, Rhode Island, it's where all the big mansions are, the Vanderbilt mansion, and they had a little ice cream shop that looked exactly like that. And so I really wanted to use this in a project here today. So when you cut your designer series paper, it's pretty easy. You just follow these little lines and cut your paper. And then you have these really nice little background images to use on cards. So we have this little ice cream shop. Now I'm not going to stamp or anything on that one because it's just good the way it is. So we have a piece for this card. We have a piece, a very vanilla cardstock, color I don't use too often. Tend to gravitate more towards white, but I felt very vanilla was really good for this one. And of course, we have a vanilla ice cream cone, so of course we had to go with very vanilla paper. Now this is a piece of that designer series paper, 4 by 5, or yeah, 4 by 5 1/4? Yes, 4 by 5 1/4. Here's the opposite side. We've got bikes on that side, and we're just gonna glue this one down. This is a very easy project to put together. So if you are more of a beginner crafter, this is a great project for you. So you just cut and glue. This is a piece of the new Crisp Cantaloupe cardstock. This comes out starting tomorrow. And we're gonna use the Tuxedo Black ink to stamp our sentiment here. So I'm just gonna clean this off because we had Peaceful Pine on there. And we need our tuxedo and our sentiment that says today's your day. So it's a 2 sentiment stamp. So we're gonna stamp the Relax first. And that's gonna go towards the top. And then our today is your day will go right below it. I may be off camera, I just wanna make sure I'm lining it all up. So there we go. So just 2 stamps. So like I said, beginner stampers, perfect for you. And we're gonna glue this down. Or if you need a card in a pinch, this is a great one as well. Uh-oh. Am I running out of glue? There we go. And this is gonna go along the bottom here. There we go. All right, our ice cream piece is gonna go on with dimensionals. Here. Hello, Janice from Georgia. There we go. And even though this is a bigger piece of paper, I'm not gonna add a dimensional in the middle just because I wanna avoid where that piece of Crisp Cantaloupe is. I don't want it to be too uneven. So that's gonna go right here on the side, there. And then we are gonna add 2 pieces of linen thread, and I like to take about 7 inches of it, and we're going to do 2 pieces here. One piece is good, but I feel like with this, because it is so thin, we're going to do 2 to bulk it up. And they're launching jets right now, so I apologize if you hear jet noise in the background. And we're going to tie this into a bow. And just kind of pull it to how you want it to be. And then cut all 4 ends at the same time. Now you want to add this on with a mini glue dot. Mini glue dots are great because you don't have to worry if you have a heavy hand with glue. You don't have to worry about it oozing all over the place. So your mini glue dot in the lower corner. And then we are going to take 2 of the large rose gold gems and put them in the upper right corner. And that is our last project with the Waterside bundle. Like I mentioned, very easy project for beginners, stampers, or if you are looking for a quick and easy project to put together. Now on my sample here, I did trim down the edges just a little bit so the background paper pokes through. But for this one, I left it the size from the Designer Series paper pack so you can see exactly how it lines up here as well. All right, so let's bring in our paper here, and you can choose which one is your favorite from today. So we have our ice cream, we have our life preservers, and then we have our relax Adirondack chair here, and let me know which one is your favorite. A great variety of cards. We have our masculine projects, a birthday card, one for kind of a Father's Day, and then we have more of a springtime project here as well. So let me know which one is your favorite this week. All right, well, thank you everybody for joining me for another week of Makers Monday. As a reminder, the May to August catalog debuts tomorrow, so you can go to stampinup.com and see all of the brand new projects, supplies, as well as the May online exclusives, and our starter kit promotion begins tomorrow as well. If you have any questions about any of the things that I showed here today or anything else, feel free to send me a message. I look forward to seeing you, and until next time, have a great day. Bye!